Blessings, everyone. Welcome once again to uh, Presence, Presence of Light, Brain Fog in Action. Anyway, I'm still in Presence of Light, and so are you. It's always a joy to come online here and share what sometimes during the day hits my attention field, and I start to think about it. And the intention is to share some wisdom with you that I receive from my higher self. It's real simple. We all have that capability. Although most of us have been taught that that's not real, or that's nonsense, or it's, there are some that call it witchcraft. I mean, which is not only um, faulting witches, but it's also, making it look like it's something evil. This is what we've gone through for thousands of years, is when somebody in control doesn't like something, they make it evil. This is not on my show notes, but this is what's coming through right now, is that this process of denying anybody their normal rights to express themselves, as long as they're not expressing harm on any other, then you're out of the sync pattern. What I'm looking at in the world right now, and then what we are all experiencing, is that so many people have looked away into a field of selfishness, a field of selfishness that it's all about me. What can I get? My money, my stuff, my. And we all fall prey to that, myself included. I look at what I have in abundance around me, and I also remember when I was homeless and I had nothing. And I said, how interesting is it that we always seem to gather stuff, products, and what does it take to make those products, and who is sort of enslaved in that process of making them? They don't realize that they are looking to, again, like all of us, earn enough money or some kind of form of uh, exchange in order to naturally live, which our ancestors did while roaming around the surface of Mother Earth and just settling and growing and using what they had with permission from the world around them to build buildings or to build tents or whatever safety they needed from the weather. We don't do that. We're looking for the sale. We're looking for how many dollars do we have to have, or how many, whatever we have to have in order to be calm, to be healthy, to be not hungry. When you look in the world and there's over 40 million people that are starving to death, you look and you say, how does that number, we look at $40 million now as like nothing. It's like change. We have billionaires. We have 750 billion people here. So 40 million starving, it's a drop in the bucket. It's not. Because what it expresses is that while those are starving and they're being recorded as starving, and facilities are helping them, what are the ones who don't have any help? What are the ones that we totally ignore? Ignore to the point where they're doing drugs on streets and nobody stops them. They let them live on the streets. They let them live in tents along, your boardwalks and your parks and your cities, living in tents and bringing trash and everything into there. into their world, and they live as uh, people who had no conscious awareness of changing their lives. So we all have to look at that in every day. So, as you all know, my labor is about peace, light, and love. And how do we get to do that? And today's topic is the power to change. Where do we get that power to change from? Who are we that we can tap into some kind of power, some kind of self beingness that really has the ability to not only change ourselves, but change others without trying? Note the words without trying, because when we think of saving somebody from themselves, it's a big project. And I'm sure we've all had a family member or a friend that we've tried to save, and so many of you have lost them, as I have. And it's sad because they had no ability to see that power within themselves. And that's what the today's talking about, is where is that power within you? How do you tap into yourself? Show love. Yes, show love. Be love. Where is that love? And what is that love that we talk about that's so broadcast across the media networks? It's been distorted. It's been written as what people get fascinated with or excited about, or sexually or mentally. And that's not love in the true sense. That's part of love. But when we exaggerate certain things in order to satisfy some hunger within ourselves, we're not really loving. Loving comes from within us, it comes from around us. It's not something we turn on or turn off. We allow it to overcome us. And when it overcomes us, it lives with us, not just in us, not just in our minds, not just in our actions, but we become living love. Thank you. That just came through right now. Living love. How can we live love and not feel outcast or not feel made fun of or jealous of? So it brings us to all of life for thousands and thousands of years, and civilizations who only sought to enslave others and enslave them in order to make a few of them, a few families of them, powerful and rule, able to rule over others. Where is the love in ruling over each other? I don't see any love there. Where is the peace in that? I don't see anywhere of that. Where is the light? It looks pretty dark to me when you look through history and you look back through all of the stories that our ancestors told, and how they had to leave their land because they were being starved to death. They had wars on the land where they just marched across the land and slaughtered everybody in their way. This is savage. We talk about indigenous people being the savages. Well, I'm sure they were indigenous from somewhere, but not in the same methodology that those who lived with and worked with the land were. These were grabbers. These were they were manifesting, how can I get power over this? How can I make myself rich, wealthy, abundant, and have the power over that. For some, I would say it's a mental illness. And this is what this is what we're looking at right now. A lot of people who are hanging on to ancestral teachings, ancestral thoughts that they feel justified in. So each of us at this point in our journey now have an opportunity to look at it a little bit differently. How can we look at it differently? Just by seeing how, when we look at the world and it bothers us, know that in that moment there's something wrong. And that's as simple as that. There's something wrong. We're all there. There's not anybody, I don't think, that thinks, well, everything's hunky dory. So we have to use love over fear. We have to lose light over darkness. And we have to individually and collectively perceive that each one of us are doing that. And more every day are doing that. And thank you for those who listen here and to other communities where they talk about sharing love and helping each other and bringing that abundance back to us and saying, I have enough, let me give you some. Because if I give you some, I will receive some. It's the power of reciprocity. It's automatic. It's not something, oh, I'm going to dream about this, and if I do this, I do. No, it's not calculating. We don't have to calculate this. Just live it. Just literally live it. And you have to come to peace within yourself. So coming to peace within ourselves is really a challenge. Each one of us has been through, I will bluntly say it, a hell of our own. I'm not worried about going to hell. I've lived it. What are you going to do to me down there that hasn't been done here? I've been left on the streets more times. One time dying. And did die. And I laugh. I laugh because I know that there's a part of us that's eternal. I'm not trying to preach, but there's a part of us that's eternal, and it lives in many different dimensions simultaneously. And what's happened over thousands of years is there have been blockages to keep us from receiving the energies or the information from those other dimensions. We're multi-dimensional beings. I'm not a scientist. I don't try to be. I know what I feel in my body. I'm not crazy. Maybe. According to some, yes. But I'm not. I've learned all of this in the past 22 years. I had to look at life from a completely different aspect of living. And that's what's needed, is what of the old world, and I'm not talking about the ancient old world, I'm talking last week, the old world, that's how fast it's happening. How soon can we take last week's problem and just put them in a mailbox and say, see you, bye. I don't know where you're going. I don't care. I just don't want you in me. This is what people say, oh, you're being selfish and self-centered. Well, if we're not self-centered, if we're not focusing on the energy of our heart, then this whole physical body dies. Real simple. 1 and 1 are 2. Real simple. This is not giant science. Your heart stops, you stop. That's the physical. But the heart is really something that we don't really understand completely. It's expansive. It's expansive. It's greater than that. Look at the light. It shines brighter. when I do that. I'm not trying to do that. Is it the machine doing that? Or is it my energy that's creating a field of energy that the computer picks up and then does what it does? Each one of you, when I first came back from dying, I used to put out street lights. I'd ride by and the street lights would go out. And I had no clue what the hell was going on. And then it dawned on me, my guy said, this is your energy. When you're in that state of happiness, when you're in that state of unity, the energy puts out the street lights. And then you learn how to tone that down, because rolling around the streets doing strange things is not really welcomed in the third dimension too well. I just want to tell you that each of you have that power within you. Each of you. If you let go of what we have been taught is important as far as goods and etc. and exchange and money and all of this stuff, doesn't mean you're going to go broke, doesn't mean you're not going to have anything. But when we learn to respect it as just a commodity of exchange and know that out of these 750 billion people on this planet, we can get to half of them to open their hearts. I don't even think we have to get half of them. I'm a person who's positive. I believe if we get a quarter of that, 10%, we're moving in a direction that can't be stopped. We're setting this. We are planting the seeds for the future generations. So that's my talk today. Is really how each of us can look within ourselves and ask ourselves, how can I do that? And it doesn't take much. A smile, opening a door. I've talked about this before. It can be very simple. I'm always amazed at how many people I sort of chit chat with, and they don't even, I'll say something, or, and they don't even look at me. They're whatever they're doing is far more important than the person who's standing there next to them and trying to address them. They ignore it as if I'm not even existing. And I know personally, they feel my energy when I stand next to them. It sounds crazy. It sounds sometimes impossible. But the three things are peace, light, and love. And the more you generate peace, light, and love, the greater ability you will have to notice that you have it. And this over manipulation by leaders, whatever, teachers, employees, begins to not have the same effect on you. Because it comes back, you come back to a place of sovereignty. And sovereignty doesn't mean ruling over somebody. That's the twist. That's what they made you believe. Just like they made you believe that there's no slavery, or that the slavery from Africa is no, there's been slaves that have built millions of civilizations. This is not new. It happens today. And many of us are slaves to this system. And we're not aware of it. And it's not about fighting our way out of it. It's about realizing that it only has power over us when we fail to use our own power within us. The power to stabilize ourselves. The power to trust ourselves. The power to trust others and know that they're not really capable of understanding that, but trust them anyway to the limit of not hurting you. But know that your power of trust and love is as powerful as it really is. So that's my talk for today. Hello, Lisa. Blessings to you and thank you for being here. Yeah, so all of you, and all of you know what it's like to be in pain and in suffering from not only what's happening here, but what's happening in the past and what's going to happen in the future if we don't get a hold of ourselves and share that love with others. Share that peace. And know that we are being guided not from somebody out there, but somebody within here, our higher self. We're like a beam of light. Beam of light. You know, they talk about, oh, don't follow the light. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's the light that we are. We're the light in form in many ways. So each of you, listen to your heart. When it struggles, know there's something wrong. Feel your energies when you're angry. Know something is out of place. Know that all of these, what we call human happenings, I look at them all as discord. We're in discordance with our divine self. All of these things that are agitating us, emotionally freezing us, we are able to see them, honor them for what they are, and then look at them from our higher self and know in that space we are truly becoming who we are. But if we stay focused on that little speck of dirt or that little piece of something, flake on my shirt, then that's all we will be. Each one of you have the power to change your life, my life, all life on earth, and come back into a synchronicity that is healthy for everyone, that is fruitful for everyone, where everyone has food, everyone has water, everyone helps each other become who and what they truly are. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? It's your dream, it's my dream. And the future generations of humanity are dreaming that dream right now. Let's let them have it. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. We are unity. One heart, one love. Forever. Bless you, everyone. Thank you. So good to see you, Melissa and Rebecca and Lisa. Yeah, all saints. Bless you. And yeah, thank you for being here with me. It's made my day complete to know that there are people out in the world who are so beautiful, and I got to be with them today. See you next week. Never know what the topic's going to be. Sometimes it comes 10 minutes before I get on, and sometimes I get a long time to prepare, but whatever it is, it'll be thoughts to uplift you. That's for sure. Love you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Humanity Healing. We love you too. Bless you.